we're gonna. This podcast is gonna be entirely about Chuck E. Cheese.
Oh God!
I'm gonna make sure I get you in trouble. Welcome to EarBurner, the award-winning D Magazine podcast, hosted by actual editors who talk about Dallas and stuff. I am Tim Rogers, and seated to my right at table number 1 here at the world-famous Old Monk in funky East Dallas is my UFC-loving co-host, D Magazine contributing editor, Eric Celeste. Hey, Eric.
Hey, Tim.
I was surprised to learn earlier this week that you're such a big UFC fan that you now travel for fights.
Yeah, San Antonio. Noche. UFC.
But it's super MAGA. Everybody knows that no one's going to a UFC fight unless...
It is, which is why I wasn't excited to go. Luckily, my boss is not going to be listening to this because I went with him for his birthday.
I'm going to send it to him, by the way.
I was so pleasantly surprised. I didn't realize. I mean, it was... Noche UFC is targeted at Mexican Americans and Latinos in the U.S. It was an extremely cool, chill night. We were...
Because you've been to these fights before, and the last report I got from you was that it was a bit disturbing.
Super MAGA.
Yeah.
I just had to, shut down, look straight ahead, just kind of not... I mean, I fit the profile. I'm
bald white guy.
Bald white, bearded, 58.
Yeah.
But, no, it was great. We had a great time. We made lots of friends. All the crowd favorites won. So I think every single fighter from Mexico won. And so by the end, the crowd was...
Rigged much?
Might have been. But it was... the crowd was drunk and happy. It was good. And we were done by 8 o'clock.
That's an old man outing.
I was so happy.
Well, I brought Eric on the pod today because we saw the new Superman movie together, and we both loved it. And our guest is in the movie, Giovannie Cruz. Go Mean Green, and welcome to EarBurner.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Now, first thing, does he have permission to call you Gio?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, I just want to make sure.
Hi.
Because mainly, my understanding is only close friends of Gio get to use that nickname and cut it down from Giovanni. So
I think since I've seen Superman 3 times, Did you
see it a third time after you knew you were going to do this with me?
I watched it again last night.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's nice.
I like to prepare.
Thank you.
Plus, it's just an amazing
movie.
It's so good.
It's refreshing. Although it wouldn't have been, I think, 20 years ago. It is now.
Yes. It's just, it aligns with my comic book nerddom and my politics. So I love all of that.
Well, let's get to why Gio and I are such close friends and why I did a Q&A with her in the September issue of D Magazine. I'm trying to think which one of you would be more entertaining to read this. Gio, let's go with you. Do you remember the first email? Do you remember?
Yeah.
You do?
I do.
Why don't you read that for me?
Do you want to know the story behind the email?
Well, first let's read it.
Okay. All right. So this is dated March of 2025. Okay. Buckle up. You're in for a ride. Hi, Tim. I was recently gifted a subscription to D Magazine by my realtor. Love her.
Do you want to shout out to your realtor?
Yeah, Nancy Bamberger, baby.
All right, Nancy.
I've always been a fan of picking up the magazine when available at my doctor's offices, because that seems to be the only place you can find them these days, or local nail salons. But it wasn't until I started receiving my own copies that I began reading the editor's notes. So, side note here, I always love reading editor's notes.
Oh, why is that?
I don't know. I really don't. It's a weird thing.
I feel like it's a thing that gets flipped by pretty quickly.
It does. Most people ignore it, but I like to give credit where credit's due. Being an editor is really freaking hard, and
Thanks,
I like
Gio.
reading the editor's notes. So, anyways, it has become my favorite ritual upon receiving the magazine. Well, I can't speak to your leadership style because I'm not there. I hope it's as strong as your wit. I want to send you much love and encouragement. Stay sassy. Kind regards, Giovannie Cruz.
Yep. See that, Eric?
Goodness.
Yeah.
It makes me a little nauseous, actually. Just knowing what that did to his ego is like a cactus. It needs no water to bloom, but my goodness.
Well, no, here's what I did. So Gio signs off, kind regards, and then below that is her signature, and it's got links to her website and all this stuff, and I'm like, this lady's an actress. Huh. And then I, went on IMDb and started looking up stuff, and I'm like, whoa, she's not just some local community theater actress.
No shade to the local community theater actresses.
All support for them. All support. Yes. But it took me a while because I was like, why would this woman be emailing me? Generally, somebody who's up to what you're up to is going to have someone else who sends that note. And it's not going to be as nice.
Well, because I'm an actual fan of I legitimately love your editor's notes. I don't don't know how else
Well, I
to
think
explain
that's
it.
true, though. I mean, the authenticity, right, is what's going to make you happy because
Yeah.
so much of what you have to deal with is PR people.
Yeah.
Fronting for other folks and, you know.
Right.
Well, and you didn't even say that you were an actress. Okay.
No.
But now, here's the question, Gio.
Yeah.
Were you playing the long game?
No.
Oh,
no.
really?
I'm legitimately look. So here's the story of why I sent that email. It's really hard to make me laugh out loud, especially when I'm reading something.
Eric, are you listening?
I hate all of this.
It's
and I am
text.
loving it.
I am a witty human being. I like wit. Wit is particularly difficult to come across in text, right? In prose and text, whatever you want to call it. And so I'm reading. I think the intro, it was earlier this year about you breaking into some private property to look at some statue.
When I was in high school.
When you were in high school.
Yeah, the Cresby Estate.
It was either that one or the one before that about your mom being a teacher.
Do you keep them all, Gio?
I do. I'm a fan. In fact, I should have brought my copy for you to sign. That's how big of a fan I am. And I actually think it was the one about your mom being a teacher that made me laugh out loud. And so I'm sitting at the nail salon. I've got this Asian woman like doing my nails. And at one point, I just cackle out loud.
Right.
Like it.
Eric, she cackled.
I cackled.
I know.
Out loud.
Out loud.
Not just internally.
I used my big girl voice.
I hate how happy you are.
I
right now.
said it with my chest, and and I literally with my free hand, because my other hand was held hostage. With my free hand, I pulled out my cell phone and started typing that out on my cell phone. Credit where credit's due. I think a lot of people like to crap on things more readily and freely than they give credit and praise. And I don't know why. Actually, I do, I think. But a lot of, I think people generally look at every Google review, right? It's like most Google reviews are going to be somebody crapping on somebody because of a bad experience versus all the people who didn't bother to write a review because they had a good time. So I like to give credit where credit's due.
Okay, so then really 4 months later, roughly?
Yeah. So 4 months later, it was like...
This is my question about whether you were playing the long game.
Yeah.
Because 4 months later... Did you write me another note saying that you'd like the...
I did. Well, because I was reading, I actually, by the way, this is the other thing I do, is once I read the editor's notes, I actually read the magazine and all the articles in them. And so I had read a couple person of interest stories, and I thought the people in them were really interesting. And I'm like, I'm a local. Why not me? And so I shot my shot. And, but yeah, no, it wasn't really a long game. Not really.
Okay.
No,
All right. I believe you. Because it benefits me and my ego, I will believe you. All right, so she writes me a second note, and she says, by the way, I do have an ulterior motive here, and that is I'm local, and I'm
an actress.
This will be my 4th James Gunn production.
Project. Yeah.
And I was like, whoa, okay. So that means you were with the old 97s in the holiday special.
Yeah.
Now,
We actually flew back together on the plane back to Texas. Yeah.
And you knew who they were before you went
Oh,
out there.
I was freaking out. Are you kidding me?
So cool.
Big Brown Eyes is one of my favorite songs. Being that I am now a Dallasite, I grew up in Central Texas, but I've been here since 2005. I also went to UNT, so like not knowing who the locals are is a crime. The local musicians and things. And, when I was a kid, I knew who Lisa Loeb was. I was like into alternative music, and I knew she was from Dallas, and there were some other artists that I respected, Erykah Badu among them, that are from Dallas. And so, I make it kind of my business to know who's from here, who's playing here. And sometimes I even get the joy of working with them as a musician. So but no, I've never met them until I was on set, and then me and James Gunn were freaking out about the old 97s being on set.
That's how they got into the Christmas specials.
Because of
Gunn,
James is a big fan. Yeah, well, and because, remind me the lead singer's name, is it?
Rhett Miller.
Rhett, yeah. Rhett and James wrote the Christmas music to the Christmas special together. Oh. James wrote some of the lyrics, Rhett wrote a lot of the music, and because a lot of people don't know this, but James Gunn used to be a part of a punk rock band back in his 20s.
And that's where the punk rock joke probably comes from in Superman.
Yeah. So he's got old band photos and things like that.
Yeah, I don't know if it's I would say it's a theme more than a joke, but yeah, I mean, like it's an important part of the movie.
Yeah.
Okay, so you, in the Christmas special, you were some kind of street vendor.
Yeah, and God.
What does that mean?
Well, it just means that, I've done a lot of little things and a lot of big things. I've been really lucky being that I'm from Dallas and I've made my career from here. But we got plugged into the Christmas special kind of super last moment.
And it's a Guardians of the Galaxy
The
Christmas special. I don't know if we said
Galaxy.
that.
No, we didn't actually say it. Thank you. The Guardians of the Galaxy Christmas special. I got plugged into that super last moment. And I was not expecting. So here's the story with James Gunn is he hired me back because he liked me, not because I auditioned for this or whatever. I had been in Suicide Squad and it was COVID and he needed people that he trusted to be around him to not get him sick and to be around his A team and not get them sick. And so we kind of made our own little mini bubble. So he pulled me into things that I literally would show up to and had no idea what I was doing that day. It was just.
And that was shot in Georgia?
Yeah,
Atlanta?
Trillis Studios in Atlanta, Georgia. Yeah, well, it's.
That's where their big mothership is now, right?
Well, they just left. Marvel pulled the plug on that contract. Yeah, they moved all their contracts over to the UK because money and politics. The fun stuff, the stuff that makes the world go round.
And so then Gunn invites you, same sort of deal. You didn't have to try out for Superman.
Did not. No, yeah. I found out. Oh, God, I don't want to get her in trouble. They're probably never going to listen to this.
Why?
She just praised you for 10 straight minutes.
And
she
then
can
humble
make a
you
joke.
in one fell swoop. Yeah. The costume designer, she sent me a text message with my picture on the wall 3 months before I got the official call that I was going to be invited to that set. She said, "Oh, I look at you every day. Here's your picture." And of course, we'd become friends because of all the previous projects and being in the COVID bubble and all that. We got to know each other really well. And so she texted me, I see your picture every day. I wrote her back and I was like, what?
Meaning that they were already planning on inviting you, but you didn't know that yet.
I had not heard a word, no.
Yeah.
And so I don't even know if I looped my agent in and was freaking out oh my God, I got this picture from so-and-so and do you know if it's real? And I don't even know. I think we sat on that information for 3 months before the official offer came in. And then I was like, oh, thank God. Because, you start to lose your mind as an actor. You're like, is it happening? Is it not happening? What am I doing? But then you go through another kind of stress of, especially with the James, what am I doing? What am I doing?
So that was when you talked about this on one of your videos. You mentioned an offer sheet. I think is what you called it.
Yeah, it's an offer letter. Yeah.
Offer letter.
Yeah,
and
or a deal memo.
Deal memo. That's what you said. And so I was interested in how that works. So because it seemed like that was when you first said, "Oh, that's the character."
Yeah.
That I'm going to play, and began your research. So,
right.
So you didn't know until that point.
Nothing. The casting director reached out, had the deal memo. Usually comes with the date window because productions move around and a lot, and so there's basically you're holding 6 weeks of your time. So it's the date window, the name of the character, and usually if you're going to be stuck in this kind of a trailer or that kind of a trailer, there are all these different size trailers. And
did you get your own trailer?
I got a 50/50 wagon, which is a pretty big upgrade.
What's a 50/50 wagon?
So you have to bring me back to this question.
Is it 20-second timeout?
Here's the thing. Now, because I'm going to take every opportunity to dunk on Tim since you praise him so much. This is what's going to happen for the next 45 minutes. He's going to get like a squirrel.
Yeah.
He's going to get sidetracked by something and go, wait, before you finish that sentence, let me ask you another question.
But I'm ADD. I'm so ADD. So I'm here. We're here. This is what we had we spent way longer on the phone than we actually needed to when we talked the last time. But if you want your answer, you're going to have to.
I will come back to you.
Yeah, if you want, because it's the most immediate thing wins. So in film and television, there are these things called honey wagons.
Yeah, there are.
Yeah, and they're awful. It's usually like a walk-in closet. There's 8. It's like a big trailer, and it's cut into 8 pieces, and it becomes a walk-in closet for the bottom of the tier actors, and then also usually in the middle there are toilets for the entire cast and crew. So
people are coming on and off who aren't even staying on the trailer,
right? And they're using the toilets part, and then you're stuck in the actual this is where they're holding me part, and it smells like caca.
Yeah,
often.
That was Spanish, Eric.
Yeah, caca.
Hey, noche.
One word.
Excellent.
Okay, it's one more word than you knew before, so I'll give it to you. So honey wagons, not great. I don't know why they call them honey wagons. To me, it sounds like something that you would use in a porno. I have no idea. But then there's a fourth of a trailer. Right, it's a quarter trailer. It's a little bit nicer. You get your own little bathroom. You get a little more space. A 50 wagon, obviously you can do the math.
Yeah.
It's a trailer. You get half of it. And then, of course, if you're James, you get your own freaking trailer with the bed and all the things that go in it that are really fancy. And so for this one, I got upgraded to a 50-50, which was really nice. I'd never been in a 50-50 before. Oh, they also have thirds, the thirds trailer. I mean,
they got all the fractions.
They've got all the fractions. But yeah, so I was in a 50-50 for this one, but it was stupid because I was never in it, so it didn't matter anyway. I spent more time in my honey wagon on Guardians than I did on in the 50-50 on Superman. So
all right, so back to your
question. The deal memo. Oh yeah, so the deal memo had dates, character, what kind of honey wagon setup I was going to be in, or trailer setup I was going to be in, and some other minor points about how they're going to pay you and stuff. And so yeah, there was a name on there, Cheryl Kimball. I looked up that name. I immediately went on the wiki DC
Dr.
deep dive.
Cheryl Kimball.
Dr. Cheryl.
So he
Kimball.
already knows all this. I embarrassed myself when I did the Q&A with you because I tried to find you in the movie and completely misidentified who you were, which I knew I was taking a chance when I asked you that question. But I had no idea that your character, I just thought you were a Luther henchwoman. I had no idea that there was this huge backstory.
There's this huge backstory, but it's okay because I'm going to take every opportunity I can to dunk on you. No. I'm going to pay him back for this. You humble my ego, I humble yours. I had to start you up so I could bring you down, really. That's where we're going to go with this. Right. No, I'm just teasing.
Because this is what's interesting to me, and this is true in a lot of gun things. I can't remember what you called your Lex fam there, but there was a name.
Luthor, the Luthor fam.
Yeah, there was something. But anyway, that whole group, Team Lex.
Yeah.
That whole group, several of the folks in there are people from comics.
Yes.
It's not just anonymous henchmen.
Correct.
So Dr. Cheryl Kimball was one.
Yeah, and she's fun fact. She's actually part of the Alien crossover.
This is what Tim does not know.
Yeah.
Superman versus aliens.
When does that happen?
The 90s? Yeah, in the 90s. Superman fighting aliens from the movie Alien and Aliens. And Dr. Cheryl Kimball, if I recall correctly, she's his head of science.
Division of Science and Technology, something like this for space science.
She hears the signal coming from space from the aliens.
Right.
And that begins that series or whatever.
And then she's in a couple, a range of those guys'. But yeah, it was a big deal.
So how much reading did you wind up doing to get ready for this?
Well, it would have been useless because James doesn't. I mean, he pulled the character name, and he assigns, and he kind of, it's fun. My friend Bonnie, she has red hair, and so he pulled a redhead character. There's the twins who played Desmond and Desmond Duke, and I forget the other twin's name.
Daisy?
No, it was you guys. But anyway, so he tends to pull from the comic. People. The thing is, James is a self-professed comic book nerd since he was a child, right? He's been reading these his whole life. It's like if somebody had put me in a room with the people that made Buffy the Vampire Slayer, I'd be like, oh, I've got 10 spin-offs for you because I grew up with it, right? And in my mind, I know the whole world, and I read all the series that spin off, and I was obsessed with it. And if you pitch me on Buffy the Vampire Slayer, I will be like, yes, here's a spin-off for this character and that character, and that's James, right? He spent his whole life reading these comics, so he can go back into his archive and just plug and play.
But also that Buffy thing needs to happen.
It is. Well, it's not happening for me, but I heard that Chloe Zhao is on board to basically reboot it. Yeah.
Really?
And I've definitely asked my managers to get me in the door.
Yeah, right. That's very cool.
As soon as I heard the news, I was like, so Chloe Zhao is doing Buffy, Joss Whedon out, Chloe in.
Yeah.
Can you please give me a call? Can you please? I don't care. I will play the janitor.
Right.
I will play the lunch maid. I will get me on the show. And that's maybe
Get
why
the worst honey wagon in the world. Don't care.
But maybe that's how I keep ending up in big things, doing little things, because I'm just I will be the person that licks the floor. I don't care. Just get me in the room. I don't know.
But as somebody who spent time going back and looking at a lot of your performances in these really small roles, they how do I say this without? Now I'm just going
You're
to praise
about to
you.
suck up, aren't you?
I am.
Go ahead.
But like when somebody is not, when somebody is looking at that small role in a non-serious way, kind of comes through, and that doesn't like you shine in those moments. Like you pop in those moments.
Oh,
I guess
thank
is
you.
what I would want to say.
Yeah, the one in Guardians was really fun.
That was very cool.
That was a really fun moment.
What are some of your favorite roles in those gun movies? Was it that one?
I think Guardians will always be my favorite because even though we're on
And
screen,
tell her who you played and.
yeah. So I was the role was Orloni Peddler. Thank you very much. He gave.
What's an Orloni?
Okay, so in Guardians, oh God, I want to say 2, when Star-Lord, aka Chris Pratt, is dancing. He's got his headphones in, he's dancing,
Right.
He's kicking these little like lizard-looking critter type things.
That's in one. Yep.
That's in one. It's
Yep.
the beginning. It's the
Yep.
intro.
Yep.
Those are Orloni.
Oh.
And
It's like a fried lizard.
It's like a fried lizard, and my character would hunt them, gather them, and then fry them up and feed them to all the other space trash people, including the Guardians. So,
That's super fun.
That's a fun little backstory on her. And, but she honestly, like, not a named character. Orloni Peddler doesn't have a name. You could call her Cheryl, Maybe she's Cheryl.
Or Kevin.
Or Gary. You get that reference? Gary?
Yes.
Gary's a name.
Gary's a name. Oh, yes, from Superman. Boom. Nice.
Okay.
Very nice.
I had to
I mean,
work
you
for
only
that
saw
one.
it 3 times.
I know. I had to work for that
The
one a little bit.
robot
Not gonna
at the
lie.
end wants to be named Gary. And then Superman, we talk about the politics of it. Here's the thing that's so great about that is Superman immediately knows, you know what? You want to be called Gary?
I'm going to call you Gary. How hard is that?
It's so great.
How hard is that? Fun fact about that moment, that was totally improvised by Alan Tudyk.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And James and David thought it was so funny and that they kept it. And
The great wash
also,
from Serenity.
Yeah. Oh, God. See, so look, I'm a huge...
Don't even start me on Firefly. Don't even start me.
All of them. So here's the shameful thing is I love all Joss Whedon projects. Him being persona non grata is really hard for me.
I know. Same.
It's like the
I'm
genius.
rewatching Firefly right now. I'm on
It's
episode
so hard.
6.
What happened to
Nathan
Josh?
Fillion is
Fill me in.
amazing.
Is it too long?
Yeah, it's too
Joss
long.
Whedon. Okay, here's the Cliff Notes version. Joss
Thank you.
Whedon is a person who, for all intents and purposes, in the 90s and early aughts, was this guy that everyone perceived as a super forward-thinking human, was very much about making women the center of stories. We'd never seen that before. He introduced one of the first lesbian characters to television. We'd never seen that before. He used Buffy the Vampire Slayer as this huge allegory of like women who felt powerless stepping into their power and actually fighting their demons, right? But like not just for themselves, but for everybody else. It was a beautiful feminist story, and it turns out...
Spoiler alert, he's a creep.
He's a creep. Yeah, exactly.
It's a little too obvious.
Yeah, right?
You saw that turn coming about halfway through the story, right?
Yeah, but then it took a long time for people to realize he was a creep, and in fact it was a black man on the DC film. What was it? It's Superman, and it was a Superman movie, but it was all of them. I know, I'm talking with my hands.
Justice League.
Yeah. So Joss Whedon wrote and directed Justice League, and actually he stepped in after the tragedy of the first director's child. They passed away. Won't touch on that, but
Way to bring us down, Gio.
I know. So Joss Whedon stepped in to finish the film, and turns out he was kind of racist. And
On
then-
top of being a creep, he
on
was
top
a
of
creep
being
and a racist?
He was a creep and a racist, and so then
They often go together.
right, and so the black actor, he played Cyborg. I forget his name, but he kind of called him out on it. Everybody was bashing him, the actor, because they were like, "No, not Joss Whedon,
him, yeah.
not Joss Whedon, never Joss Whedon." And then a bunch of OG Buffy characters came forward and were like, "Actually,
This
has
aligns.
been happening since Buffy." And they just, times were different back then. We weren't allowed to talk about it or disparage our boss or really do anything without the risk of losing our careers. But now it's been 20 years. We can say whatever the hell we want. We're grown-ups. And they did. And
So what's he up to now? He's just not working? He's done?
He's done. He had a show on HBO that immediately after 4 episodes got canceled, which was another feminist, like, this is going to be a cool story. It was science fiction. It was awesome. Like, there were so many cool things about it. And that died. It died. I'm pretty sure it's not even on. Like, you can't even find it anywhere anymore. It was called The Nevers. It was really good while it lasted.
How much TV do you watch?
Oh my God! Wow, put me on the spot.
Well, no, I don't mean it as a bad thing. I'm just curious.
I love television. I love the medium of television. I grew up really sheltered, and I wasn't allowed to play outside as a child, so I watched a lot of television.
Are we talking about in Germany or after you moved to Texas?
No, after we moved to Texas. You want me to really bring the room down? I'll really bring it down.
No, I love
okay,
it.
we're going to bring it down.
Do it.
So when I was a child, elementary school, there was a girl on my block that was murdered. She was kidnapped and murdered. And so, yeah, this is fun.
This was at Fort Hood?
Yeah, it was near Fort Hood. Yep.
Yeah.
You guys can look it up. Her name is Donatia Thompson. Rest in peace. But she was kidnapped and murdered, and they found her 8 days later in trash bags on the side of the road. Killer's never been found. It's still it's a cold case at this point. But she was in my neighborhood. My parents rightfully freaked the F out and basically forbade us from playing outside.
Sure.
So my obsession with TV turned into that. That's kind of
that was your window to the world.
My window to the world. Yeah, I was so sheltered. I couldn't play outside. The only thing I had, it was like that Christmas that my parents bought us like the tiny boob tube TVs for our bedrooms, my brother and me, and so and that was all we had. It's pretty sad, but yeah, look at me turning something bad into something good.
No, I mean, look, it goes. Look, it's unfortunate, and it goes a long way to explaining why you think Tim's so funny, because you've kind of had a messed up childhood. And a weird world.
Well, no, I'm just thinking about it. Like there is this generation, my generation, who have raised their kids with that same sort of fear about letting them. Because I was a feral child.
Yeah, I wanted to be.
Yes, child.
My mom. My mom was a single mother teacher.
Right.
Like, I was just turned loose in the neighborhood in East Dallas, and I would get on my bike and just roam wild.
Right.
And then my generation, when we had kids, very much did that, try to bubble-proof the world.
Yeah.
And one of the things you certainly couldn't do, because you were going to get murdered and cut in pieces and put in a trash bag, is go out and play by yourself. But it doesn't happen. Like, it doesn't happen until it actually happens right down the street from you.
Right. Yeah. And what's interesting is my husband shared a story with me, something similar. There was a child in Plano that got kidnapped from a festival or something like this. His mother had a similar reaction to that event.
Yeah, but you know what else happens, Gio? People go out and they get in their car to drive to work, and they get paralyzed or they lose a limb. You know what? We just keep driving cars. We still get in cars.
I know. But, well, okay. So when it's you though, when you're an adult and you're making autonomous choices, that's one thing. But when it's your child, I don't know. It's this extension of you, like you, and you're the adult. Like you know what I mean? Like it's.
No,
it's
I know
different.
what you mean.
Well, and it's more than you. It's often two people making that decision, and so there's someone who's very fearful, and even if you've got sort of an idea that, like, well, kids need to explore the world.
Right.
If something traumatic has happened,
it's really hard. It's super hard. Well, and so. Look, it's something that happened. It's something that it was a part of my childhood. I understand why my mom refused to let us play outside. I get it. I wanted to be a feral kid. The truth is, had I been a feral kid, I probably would have set something on fire. So, it worked out for everybody that I was inside watching Buffy the Vampire Slayer all day and like Saturday morning cartoons.
Well, at least you also had proven you had great taste by the stuff you were watching.
Yeah.
Buffy's an incredible show.
I mean, and I was probably listening to things and watching things that I didn't understand at that age, but like loved it because it was freaking weird. I remember the first time I watched Rocky Horror Picture Show. I might have been in the 4th grade. I didn't understand what I was watching. I had no idea.
You had to go to the theater, right? Who took you to the theater?
No, it was on MTV or VH1 back in the day. It used to be
cable.
like the Halloween
you were
marathon.
A rich kid.
No, but that was the price for me not playing outside. Is if I'm going to have to sit inside and watch television all day, you better make it good. We didn't even have a computer until I was like in high school. Like we were pretty poor actually, but somehow my parents got cable. They thought that was a priority. Love you, Mom and Dad. So
they won't be listening.
They won't be listening. No, they won't. My dad might actually, if I tell him about it.
Where's he living now?
He's still. They're still in Central Texas near Killeen. My brother is a teacher at KASD, and my mom's a teacher on base. I think that's why I resonated so much with your mom being a teacher in that story, and that's why that made me cackle. And I
mean, my mom would send me out the door. I lived in East Dallas.
Yeah.
Okay, so this would have been like 1978, 1979. I would walk
Simpler
out.
times.
I would walk out the front door and walk a mile to school by myself, just solo.
I mean, we did that too until, right? So yeah, there's the before and then there's the after, and oh man, the after was really rough. But yeah, like I watched Rocky Horror when I was in the 4th grade, and I didn't understand a lick of it, but I loved the music. You know, I was a musical kid, and Susan Sarandon, and it took place in Denton. You guys know that, right?
What?
Like the setting for Rocky Horror Picture Show is Denton.
I did not know that. Did not know
Let
that.
me learn.
Can I confess something to you?
Yeah, you've never seen it?
Never seen it all the way through.
It's wild.
Never seen it all the way through.
Yeah, it's kind of wild. It's full. What is it called when a story comes to completion? Full
Daniel
story or like
breaking down the fourth wall.
I don't know. Look, when I was in college, I was waiting tables at one of these tavern eatery places.
This is at UNT. This is why I said go Mean Green.
Yeah. I went to UNT for music.
Yeah.
If it hasn't been established, I play music or I sing in cover bands. That's like my survival gig. Is I sing and manage these cover bands and I do weddings and festivals and things like this, so I can afford to be a traveling carny. And so, but in college, while I was getting the music diploma, I was waiting tables at a movie eatery type place, and they would do around Halloween. They would do the Rocky Horror Picture Show thing with the actors and the throwing the popcorn.
Everybody dresses up and
messy. Yeah, and it was then that I realized what it was that I had watched as a child, and how wildly twisted and inappropriate it was for a 4th grader to be watching Rocky Horror Picture Show. I picked up all the things that I did not pick up as a child.
Right.
And I was wait, what?
It's like when my dad took me to see Animal House when I was 10, and
you know what would be great? Just
many jokes
have the two of you just try and one up each other. Well, actually, I could join in too on how messed up our childhoods
But it's
were.
just stuff that I did. Not only did I not get the all of the sexual stuff that was too over, I didn't get when Belushi puts the water rice in his mouth and smashes his cheeks. Says, "I'm a zit." Get it? I didn't know what a zit was. I was 10 years old.
Yeah.
I'd never had one.
That's the only thing in that movie that I did understand. The rest, I was like, what is this chaos? People live like this? What?
So it sounds like, though, you're a sci-fi fan?
Yes.
Okay. Because it's kind of cool that as a sci-fi fan, you're getting to be with one of the sci-fi masters and be in these movies.
Not just him. I got to work with Lisa Joy Nolan, who is of Westworld fame. So there was the Westworld reboot on HBO.
Right.
Lisa Joy married Jonathan Nolan, Christopher Nolan's brother, right? So that angle of science fiction magic, and the work that they do. Their new TV show is also on HBO, is the bunker. God, what's it called? It's the
Silo.
No, not that one. That's Apple TV. That's also very good. I've also worked with that actress.
Have you?
Yeah. Is the lead actress for Silo. I've worked with her on this Lisa Joy movie. It's based off a video game. God, what's it called? They're in a bunker. It's got
Is the answer Jaws?
Walter Goggins is in it.
Yeah. Keep going. I'll Google.
Oh, doesn't have a nose.
He doesn't have a nose. Yeah, he's like the Skeletor-looking dude,
Damn
right?
It. I've watched the entire first season of that with my wife. It starts with a buh. Eric has picked up a supercomputer and he's looking at it.
Thank
it
God
starts
for the
with
internet.
a buh.
Yeah, it starts with a B.
What do you want to talk about while Eric's looking at his phone?
Well, so I was saying Lisa Joy and her company, they are doing this TV show now. So they're really good science fiction.
Fallout.
Just kidding. Why did I say B? There's no buh in there.
It's not buh Fallout.
Buh Fallout. Fallout. Yeah. No, it's not. I apologize.
All right, so what do you do for Chuck E. Cheese?
Oh, God.
Because honestly, when I asked you that question when I did the Q&A with you for the magazine, the way you answered the question utterly confused me because you started referring to the character names, and I didn't know what you were talking about until I looked it up later.
Yeah, I'm friends with Bella, is what I'm supposed to say.
So Bella is Bella like Bunny. Chuck's buddy or something?
Yeah, she's like the new character. So, okay, who are the Chuck E. Cheese? I've been doing a lot of talking. Let me ask you a question. Who are the Chuck E. Cheese characters that you know?
There's Mr. Cheese. And then Gio, I'm afraid my knowledge of the cast and crew kind of drops off after that.
Oh, okay, so there's the mouse. You know the mouse. Okay, there's a duck.
Okay.
There's a duck.
I believe you. 100%.
There's a dog.
Okay. And they all have names.
They all have names.
Jasper Jowls.
There's Jasper.
Okay.
Yeah, Jasper's the dog.
I actually do know that name, Jasper Jowls.
Yeah.
Because Jowls is a funny word.
And then there's the monster.
That's Eric.
Mr. Munch.
Mr. Munch. And so the newest
Pasquale.
Pasquale has kind of been he's kind of been kicked off the island.
Oh, that's my
Yeah.
that was my great grandfather.
Was he Me Too'd?
No. Pasquale was like the original Chuck E. Cheese character. He was like based off of the like owner of the franchise. I want to say, he's like this Italian-looking dude.
Okay.
Pizza maker guy. Pasquale.
No stereotyping here.
But like the children don't follow this iteration of that anymore.
Bella
and
Bunny.
So they kind of fired, they had too many characters, so they fired Pasquale. He comes in every once in a while. And then they replaced him with Bella, who is bilingual.
Okay.
And she sings.
This sounds way too woke.
She sings. How dare they cater to children of bilingual languages that pay their bills and go to the parties of Chuck E. Cheese and make them lots of money. How dare they cater to that population?
Look at all
of people.
the characters.
Yeah, and so
There's so
Bella's the
many.
newest. She's the newest, and she's their friend that sings and dances and raps in Spanglish. And
which character were you?
I am none of them. I am friends with Bella. Are you not picking up what I'm putting down?
She is.
I thought you meant your character was friends with Bella Bunny. You're friends with Bella, who voices Bella.
We are. God, you're gonna get me in so much
no,
trouble.
Eric, this is exactly what confused me
I'm
too.
so confused.
Because what she has to do,
because she can't.
she can't break the universe. She's in the universe,
Right.
So she
Because
is.
then
Yes. I don't know. Mr. Cheese
because
gets pissed.
then the mafia people from Chuck E. Cheese come break your legs.
Yeah.
Right.
Don't mess with a woman's income.
Right.
Come on,
I'm sorry.
man.
I'm sorry.
Oh
I'm
my
sorry.
God, that's.
I'm sorry.
I mean, these James Gunn films are like every 2 or 3 years.
I know.
She's got to fill her
I get
time
it.
in
Look,
between, man.
Look. Get that bag.
I did ask once. I'm like, if somebody asks about this, what am I supposed to say? And my manager, the guy who books me on this stuff, he was a Disney kid. He is a Disney kid. He worked for Disney for a really long time. Now he works for Chuck E. Cheese. And he said, well, at Disney, we were supposed to say we're friends with Aladdin. Right?
Okay.
I'm friends with Aladdin if you played Aladdin, right?
Yeah.
So he advised me to say I'm friends with Bella. I'm very good friends with Bella Bunny.
Okay. I'm sorry. I'm not very smart. I figured it out now.
So give me a snippet. Give me a sing-a-bar.
Oh God.
Are you allowed to do that?
I don't
Like
even.
what kind of thing? Are you singing about pizza or what?
Fun, having fun with friends and playing and like just wholesome kid things.
Yeah. Like give me a, come on.
Oh man, I record the song and I leave, right? I don't actually memorize the music or sing it live. Like,
Okay, so wait a minute.
You don't sing it in the shower?
Listen,
I don't
she does
sing
all
it
that.
in the
How long have you been
shower.
working for the cheese thing?
How long have you known Bella?
I've known Bella
How long
since
have you known? That's a great question.
2022-ish, 2021.
Okay, so a good long while.
So it's been, yeah.
But you've never been inside a restaurant where Bella might go.
No.
That's interesting to me.
No, I know. Well, I don't have kids.
I mean, you don't like pizza? Everybody likes pizza, Gio.
I'm gonna refrain from commenting.
Yeah, you know what are you doing? Stop. You talking about me messing with her money? You stop.
I'm gonna refrain from commenting.
You stop.
I do not have children. I have no reason to step into a Chuck
Yeah.
E. Cheese.
I have a quick question
yeah.
related to this. If you're friends with Bella, you probably know people who do voice work.
I do.
Oh, dude, she
and-
does so much anime voice work.
So I'm a big fan of the movie podcast Blank Check. I don't know if I've heard of this, but Blank Check.
Oh, blank
Geo.
check. Blank check. Okay.
Yeah. So, but they
I
talk
heard
a lot.
playing Czech. I'm like Czech Republic. Like,
One of the
what?
guys in it is an actor, and he talks about like how that is your mortar between the bricks. I mean, like voice work is so crucial to being able to earn a living.
It can be.
I mean, if you
Not
have
an
a great
anime.
voice,
Yeah.
right?
It can be. Yeah. Oh gosh. So I float between so many industries. I also do motion capture for video games and audiobooks and like literally whatever. I'll do it. I need to afford my rent in Dallas. No.
But I mean, is that
It can be if you're the lead, if you're the star in an anime. I mean, we all get paid the same, really, but you get paid by the hour or by the session.
Okay.
And so if you're in if you're a lead in a show, you're going to be doing more sessions.
Or if you're like the Geico lizard, that guy is raking it in.
So that's different though, okay? Because anime is very different than commercial. If you're doing commercial work, yeah, you're raking it in. You're raking it in like real good. Anytime that you're doing not just voiceover, but like Flo, for instance. Okay, can I tell you guys?
Dude, Flo's got to be rich off her ass.
Please tell us.
I was at the Superman premiere. And okay, yeah, I'm near David and Rachel and Nick and all these people, these wonderful people, and of course, you know, James, whatever. I did not freak out or blow a gasket until I saw Flo. I saw Flo and was like, oh my God. Oh, guys, it's Flo. Did you see Flo? Flo's over there, guys, it's Flo. And I told my husband, I was like, I have to say hi to Flo. And he was like, are you kidding me? And I was like, I have to say, you don't understand. She's been doing this for 20 years. Do you know what that career is like?
Has she really? 20 years?
20 years.
Wow.
Do you know what a career as Flo is like? That
and she gets residuals every time one of those commercials airs, right?
It's crazy how much money this woman's probably making. And like, she's done the commercials and she's done the voiceovers and she's been on the writing team and she's like the face of this brand. I think the cushiest job right now is being the face of an insurance brand. If you can be Mayhem or Flo,
Mayhem,
or like the Allstate guy or the Farmers guy, you know who I'm talking about. You know exactly.
Who's the emu dude? I hate that guy.
Oh yeah, that guy's a bit annoying. I feel bad for him. I don't think he signed up for all that. I really don't.
But it's golden handcuffs. You can't get out of it.
Yeah, but you can't get out of it. So sometimes it's a blessing, sometimes it's a curse. But I talked with Flo, okay, and I want you to know
she's a nice lady,
her
isn't
job.
She loves her job.
She loves it, and she knows how incredibly blessed she is. And on top of that, every Wednesday you can see her at Upright Citizens Brigade doing live comedy.
Oh, cool.
Because that's what she does to keep her sanity. Yeah, and you know, in between things, whatever, and she's making all this money and doing a troupe. So good for her, you know, that's a life. So I admire that. I admire the crap out of that. It's really hard to do something like that for 20 years and not lose your mind.
How did you approach Flo when you walked up to her?
I was such a nerd. Are you kidding? I was like...
You didn't get it together and just like...
Hi, you're Flo. Hi, I'm Giovannie. I'm in the movie. I was such a big fan. Your body of work is so prolific. I mean, you would think I was talking.
See, that's an actress right
there.
That is an actress. See the way she did that?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I was with her.
You would think that I was talking to freaking Picasso. I don't know.
So I want to ask you about the premiere.
Yeah.
Because premiere for Superman, you know, what happens at those that we... I mean, only thing I know is...
Rails of cocaine, Eric. That's what happens.
You come down the carpet, they take pictures, etc.
Yeah.
Is it just like any other event? Are there after parties?
Yeah.
Do you get a sense of how much people enjoy it while you're there? I mean, are you walking in kind of already knowing what the reaction's going to be?
No, because I've never seen the movie until I see the movie.
Until that moment, that's the first time you've seen it.
Right. We don't even get a script. So James and a lot of upper crust filmmakers these days work on a need-to-know basis. So they're only giving you what you need to know. Like, even if I were to work on a big TV show, like a big franchise like The Walking Dead, you know, they still do it. There's a show shooting in New York where they only give you what you need to know. You do what you need to do, and then you get out, and then you have no concept of what else is around you, what they're building out for the rest of the world. You do your part and you leave.
And it could be 12, 18 months later.
And then you see it and then you're like, that's what that
like
looks
the
like.
movie where you got cut out of just because he had to trim for time.
Yeah, or that.
Yeah.
And that's also fun when you're sitting there going, oh.
I'm not here.
This is the part where I should have shown up.
This is about it. But you know, I try to, there's a reason why I chose to stay in Dallas and I didn't move to LA. And part of the reason is because the LA ego is incredible. It's massive and it's really hard for people to stay grounded and or not attach themselves to the outcome. So many people in LA are so attached to the outcome of things. And here I get to live.
Meaning the box office?
Yeah, or like their scenes making it in, or what makes it into the final product, or like how it makes it in. And so many people are attached to that. And the truth is, in this industry, unless you are the star, and oftentimes they don't even get a final say, but unless you are the star, you really have no say over how something gets edited. None whatsoever. They could pick the take where you blew a booger out of your nose, and you know that's like your worst take, but it was the best take for this sound guy, or it was the best take for this other actor in your scene, and so it just so happened you had a booger fly out of your nose. What are you going to do? You know, you have absolutely no control over the outcome. So my work is not the outcome. So I think that's why a lot of actors get really self-conscious when people say, hey, what have you done? What are you in? What can I see you in?
Right.
Because we have no control over how these things turn out, and sometimes it's great and awesome and we shine, and sometimes it's horrible, and we're upset that that was the day I had the huge zit on my nose or whatever, and like we have no control over the outcome whatsoever.
Which take they use or any of that kind of stuff?
None of it. And so you hope, but so I try not to attach myself to the outcome. I've done a lot of work that I'm proud of. I've been in a lot of work that I'm proud of that I got cut out of. I'm still proud of the work.
What are you ashamed of?
Oh man, you really want to know?
Yeah, well, I asked you the question.
I don't want to point people to it. It's really bad, and it's not bad because I'm bad in it. It's bad because the film itself is bad.
Well, then we have to know.
What about AmeriGeddon?
Did you watch it? We talked about this, didn't we?
No, we didn't.
We didn't.
No.
Okay. Did you watch it?
What you couldn't see if you're listening is immediately she had hung her head in shame and closed her eyes. Okay, so AmeriGeddon, I'm going through your IMDb and I'm like, she wasn't in Armageddon. Oh, no, AmeriGeddon.
Yeah.
AmeriGeddon 2016. It was directed by Chuck Norris's kid.
Yeah.
I don't remember which Norris that is. But it's you. It's you. No, and I watched. It's just from your reel, like your. And so the only scene I saw is you jump behind some sandbags. You've got a long gun in your hands. You're trying to shoot, and then there's another lady, and she has a bazooka, and she shoots the bazooka and blows up a truck, and then you kind of smart alecky say to her, man, you almost shot me.
Right.
And then the lady was like, oh, try to be more careful.
Yeah, that was literally the only part of the movie that was watchable. So it made it into my reel.
Right. Yeah.
Because it was at the time something I needed to show that I could do that kind of work.
Action work.
Yeah, but 10 out of 10 do not recommend.
I like the honesty.
It's work. And
it is work.
You got to do what you got to do. The movie was about, I did kind of do a deeper dive on this movie than I needed to.
Yeah.
It very much sounds like a thing you would get obsessed with.
The UN is about to try and take over
It's not
America.
The UN.
Oh, what is it? Help me out.
It's some sort of like dark. Like some people are obsessed with like dark government or something like that.
Right.
It's like
Shadow
dark
government
shadow
kind of
government
thing.
It's real Chuck Norrisy is what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And look, again, we do things because...
And that was shot in Texas, right?
It was shot on a ranch in Central Texas, out in the middle of nowhere. The production...
When did you know?
Oh, that's a great question.
This is what I want to know. You're right. So it's day one.
She knew when she signed the contract.
I did.
Now, you knew the day you signed the contract.
Yeah, there's no honey
Okay,
pot or whatever it's called.
No honey wagon.
No honey wagon.
Well, I got a honey wagon. So here's the deal. We do, as actors, we do things for so many different reasons. I wanted to be SAG.
Right.
Or at least SAG eligible. SAG is the Screen Actors Guild. It's like the thing that gets you the like stamp of approval, right? And this film was a SAG film.
And insurance, right? And
It
those
can,
sort of things.
yeah, it can get you insurance, yeah. And so I wanted the SAG stamp of approval, and that film got me that stamp of approval, and also I got to meet like a legend somehow on set.
Who was the legend?
Chuck?
Sorry.
No, God.
Wait a minute. Chuck Norris is a legend.
He is a legend.
He is.
No matter how you want to dice it.
He's not the legend I got to meet, though.
Who'd you get to meet?
I'm so bad with names. I have her image in my head.
My name is
and
Tim.
I cannot. She was old Hollywood. She married. Oh gosh.
Come on, Eric can get it.
Yeah,
She's old Hollywood.
Okay, old Hollywood.
I like how tough this is. Barbara Stanwyck. No.
No. God, I'm going to throw out a weird name, and you're going to be like, it doesn't start with a Linda.
It starts with a B.
Yeah, it starts with a B.
Tim's looking it up.
I'm trying to, yeah.
Oh, I'm so bad with names on the spot. It's so sad.
I share that weakness, so don't apologize.
There's like a hole in my head. It's really embarrassing when I'm talking out loud.
But she was in the movie?
Yeah. She played like the matriarch. She's like the grandmother on this ranch or whatever. She was only on a couple days, but it was fun to meet her. She's a sweet old lady.
It was Diane Ladd.
Diane Ladd.
Oh, there you go.
Diane Ladd, yeah, Diane. Bruce Dern, that's who I was thinking of. She married Bruce Dern.
Yes,
and
yes.
Laura
As in
Dern.
Laura Dern.
Laura Dern is
and
their
that
daughter.
was the year. Laura Dern was nominated for an Academy Award for her work on the.
Jurassic Park.
No, not that old. No, the movie where it was like her big comeback role with.
Marriage Story.
No, before that.
Before that.
This is years before A Marriage Story. It was Hello Sunshine
Air Bud?
Production. Hello Sunshine Productions. It's Hello Sunshine Productions is owned by God. See, this is the bunny trail. This is the problem that I have. It's the one Into the Wild. Is that the one? Into the Wild? Is that with her?
With that Reese Witherspoon?
Yes.
Yes.
Reese.
Yes.
See,
Yes.
it was there.
Yes.
It was there in my brain hole, and I had to pull it out.
All right, Gio, here's another one.
Yeah.
And this is, I think, I hope, is going to be a different experience than AmeriGeddon was. The Last Laugh.
That was fun.
Okay? You got to dance with Richard Dreyfuss.
Yeah, and my scene got cut from that.
Oh, so what I saw on your reel, that actually doesn't show up in the movie?
It does not. No.
so
this is great. I talked with Greg Pritikin, who is the director of this film. I actually talked with him about a month ago about this. This was at a time where we were overcorrecting, I think, a little bit. So our glorious president, number 45, he shall not be named, was on and on about people at the border being rapists and prostitutes and things like this. Well, Greg, previously, in a previous version, he's from LA, his thing as a kid, he would go to TJ, as a young adult and have a good time. And so he wrote that into the movie.
So Greg is who? He's the director of The Last Laugh. TJ is Tijuana. Okay.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
Okay, my shorthand.
TJ to a Dalasite might mean
Trader Joe's.
Or Thomas Jefferson High School.
Okay, I call it Trader Joe's. Yeah. So anyways, yeah, Greg is from that region. He used to go south of the border to hang out with his friends and have a good time. And so he wrote something like that for his lead characters, which is Richard Dreyfuss and Chevy Chase. And they go into a bordello.
Two of the nicest people in Hollywood.
Richard was a
She just
gem.
made big eyes.
He was a gem. Because they both have reputations as extremely troublesome
I
people.
will say Richard did not meet expectations in that regard.
Good.
He was very kind.
Good.
He was very nice. The other guy, not so much.
Yeah. No, there's never good stories about him.
But you know what? Greg being Greg, though, managed it beautifully.
Right.
He managed the egos really, really well. I mean, high praise for that guy. It's hard to do. A lot of times being a director is ego management.
And wasn't Chevy, that this was his first movie back, like in a lead role, and like he'd been out of
for a long
for a
time,
while,
and I think since, and the thing with Chevy is his daughter was his assistant, so like they knew to handle him with kid gloves, so they had a really great. They handled him well enough. But yeah, I was just like, oh, the stories are true.
Okay, so the plot is he's going to Tijuana.
They go to a bordello, and I was a lady of the night in the bordello, But unfortunately, because of those comments, and this was coming out on Netflix, Netflix was like, we can't portray people like this. They're going to believe what they hear, whether or not it's true, and also this reinforces that we as Netflix as a company don't want to do that. We have to pull these scenes, and so they cut the scenes. Which is fine. Again, I don't have a control over the final product, but the director, I emailed him and I was like, hey, this is kind of cool for me though. Like, can I get the footage? And he's like, sure, here it is. So Netflix wouldn't let him release it, but I could.
Oh, cool.
So I put it, so I had it for a while and I put it out there just for funsies, and it was fun. I mean, Richard really was a nice guy, regardless of his, politics. People would say the same thing about me if I was on the other side of that. They might not agree with my politics, but so long as I show up respectfully and I'm a respectful human being, I mean, I'm going to treat you the same way you treat me. And he was like that. He was a really nice nice guy, at
Cool.
least in that regard. So anyway, yeah.
But we have to talk about Beverly Hills Cop, Axel.
Axel Foley?
I always want to say
Axel
AF. Is it Axel AF or just Axel F?
No,
I always
but
want to
that's
say
the
AF.
joke. The joke
yeah,
is
no, I get
Beverly
the
Hills.
joke. That's why I keep screwing it up.
Do you?
Which I also thought was a delightful film.
It is a
I enjoyed
delightful
it, and I
film.
think we both agree on that, didn't we?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
it was
totally,
a nice little callback to the original.
Yeah. He's good.
It's not the first one, but I think it's better than the second one, actually.
Yeah,
Which is
and
an
potentially
underrated movie.
Do you know that there's a third?
Yes, but I refuse to watch that.
You should continue to refuse to watch it.
Yes,
but,
I've heard it's terrible.
But this one is the second best.
Yes,
Axel
I would
Foley, Beverly
And you
Hills
get to
Cop.
arrest Eddie Murphy.
I did
with his daughter.
With his daughter Bria, she's delightful. Yeah, that was from what I understand, from what they were telling me, is Eddie's children sometimes like to appear in his films, and he will say, "Yeah," you know what I mean. And so there was originally another person cast in that role.
Oh no.
Yeah, they had to throw her a bone in another scene, I want to say. It was originally me and somebody else, but Bria did a great job, and she got to arrest her dad, and that's a memory she's going to have forever, and it's on camera forever. And
It's a fun scene. It's in your sizzle
is
reel
also
or
in my
whatever it
reel,
is.
yeah. And Bria's mom and dad met on Coming to America.
Oh wow.
Her mom is Nicole.
Kidman.
Different Nicole.
Oh, okay.
Different Nicole, but she was one of the models on Coming to America that he falls in love with, or something to that effect. And
Coming to America, good movie or not?
You haven't
seen it?
Not the whole thing. No.
Okay.
And
Eric?
Similar to.
It's been a million years, but I mean, it's. I think
There are scenes. I think there are scenes that are good, but I think as a movie,
I think
it's
it would
like,
not. I think it would be a little slow now.
Yeah.
But
Well, I made my husband sit through something that I thought was
let's talk movies.
gonna be good,
Go for
and
it.
then proceeded to cringe the rest of the way through.
Oh, I've done this so many times.
I was like, "You have to watch this movie. Oh, it's so funny. You have to watch it." His grandmother had a DVD of
Was it Terms of Endearment?
It was Blazing Saddles.
Oh yeah.
I'm high-fiving you right now.
I'm like, you have
He
to
does
watch
not
it.
like that movie.
You have
No,
to-
that is not true.
Well, but
That's
see, but
ridiculous.
that's the thing.
I can't count the number of times you've told me that movie is terrible.
No, that's the most
it did
absurd
not
thing
age
you've ever
well.
said.
It did not age well.
It doesn't
It
age that well.
Of course
it doesn't age
It
well.
has some really funny scenes. It's nowhere near as funny as Young Frankenstein. There are several Mel Brooks movies that hold up much better.
Spaceballs.
Spaceballs is really funny. I wouldn't, but there are Mel Brooks movies that hold up better than Blazing Saddles. Blazing Saddles is overrated by people like Tim.
But no, that is unfair. That is unfair.
I'm not going to say, but we both know. We're looking at each other. We know the kind of people who go, oh, you
Gio.
can't say that now in comedies.
This is
and
such
I love when
bullshit.
I could say that because it makes me laugh.
Well, so I watched it with my husband after many, many years of having watched it before, and I thought I kept just the whole time my butt just kept puckering. I thought how I forgot how.
There's some stuff
transgressive. It's very transgressive.
well, and there's some stuff that holds up that's transgressive that's funny, and some
Yeah.
of it's just not. As I recall, Madeline Kahn to me is still the funniest thing in it.
Yes.
Like to me that holds up. That whole
I'm so tired.
Yeah, that whole scene is still incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, but yeah, sitting there with my husband watching it, and he's looking at me like, "What?
What is
like
this?
he did not get it."
Are there other
comedies
movies?
are tough because we just had a friend. Matter of fact, no, not this friend. We had a friend recently try to show his kids Caddyshack, and they were just like, "What
Caddyshack is
this?"
a horrible movie.
Yeah.
but it was a popular comedy in the '80s, and the style of comedy
It has some great scenes.
I
It's
remember
not a good movie.
I know.
I remember sitting with my girlfriend and trying to get her to watch some comedies from the 70s and 80s that meant a lot to me as a kid, and just 10 minutes in realizing this was a terrible idea.
Yeah.
She is not laughing.
That's because his girlfriend
all.
is like 28.
Okay, well,
I mean, I'm not gonna argue.
I'm like, I have no comment. I've never met your girlfriend. I'm sure she's a very lovely person.
Favorite comedy? Go.
For me, favorite comedy.
Is it Raising Arizona or something that's wrong?
That is not a fair question. Oh man, favorite comedy. See, when I'm put on the spot, it's like I don't have an answer. But like at the
Is
moment
Tropic
I walk
Thunder
away,
amazing, or do you think, like Eric, are you misled in thinking that it's not a good movie?
I didn't say it's not a good movie. I said it's. I don't. Tim has like 6 movies he loves,
and everything else is crap.
and everything else is crap.
Yeah.
And if you don't love it as much as he does, then you hate it. That's the way.
Right.
That's the way he does it.
For some people, it just be like that. You know, they can't have a refined taste like the rest of us.
Are you starting to realize that your fandom is misplaced?
No, not at all. I think two things can be true
Are
at
you
the
going to
same
start
time.
writing Eric letters?
You know what
Eric,
you need to do is, are you on Letterboxd?
That PowerPoint
No, I'm
deck
not.
that you put together for your commercial real estate company, I was at the nail shop and it just made me laugh.
You know what, Tim?
Yes.
I think that there's a world in which two things can exist at the same time, and it's not an either-or situation. I'm still hurt by the question you asked me.
Oh no! Oh no! Oh
I
no!
still
no.
struggle.
Oh no!
What's about to happen?
He said to me,
Oh, Jesus.
Oh no!
he
I know Tim,
said
and I'm scared.
To me, here's
Oh no!
Here's a question.
Oh no!
If you could be nominated for an Academy Award and not win and never do anything else for the rest of your life,
or basically be a nobody, but you're working all the time, what would you choose?
Yeah, that's a tough question.
I'm hurt by that question.
Why were you hurt?
Because I had to acknowledge a potential that I'm like, no, I'm going to fucking win the award. Excuse my French.
You're allowed to swear.
Do it.
Okay, I'm going to win the award one day. It's going to happen. But if you're making me choose, then fine, I'll work for the rest of my life because art's more important. But I'm going to win the award one day.
I'm just
going to
happy-
be 70 when it happens. I'll be Betty White,
Nice.
but I'm going to do it.
I'm just happy that was the question, because when someone says Tim has asked a question that's terrible, it's usually so much worse.
Oh, is it?
No. I was, well, no, 50%. I was like a 50% wagon. What's it called?
Honey wagon? Oh, a 50-50?
It was like I was like a
50-50 wagon.
50-50 wagon right there. Like half of my wagon was like, oh Jesus, what did I say that I've forgotten? But the
No.
other half of my wagon was like, no, I was minding my P's and Q's. And
Yeah. No, that was
Yeah.
a good question. It was a good question, but you know who? So we lost the formidable Robert Redford today.
I
R.I.P.
know.
And
What a handsome man.
Yeah, gorgeous, but
The-
also like
most-
Great body of work.
prolific.
Great
Yeah,
body
super
of work.
prolific.
Yeah,
And so on the way here, I was like, you know what, Tim?
What?
I want to be Robert Redford.
What does that mean?
That means I want to have.
Do you want me to call you Robert now?
Call me Bobby. You could call me Bobby G.
Okay.
But like I want this kind of career that he had, and he never won an Academy Award.
I didn't know that. If you'd made me bet that, I would have assumed he had.
He's never won an Academy Award.
And now he won't.
Worked with, right? Or posthumously.
Oh.
Posthumously, he
Do they
could.
do that?
Sometimes, yeah.
Favorite Redford performance?
One of the younger ones. What's the one that he did with Neil?
Armstrong?
Stop laughing.
Neil
at his terrible
Simon. Isn't it
jokes.
still Neil Simon? He did Barefoot in the Park.
Barefoot in the Park, yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right, that's a great.
Oldie but a goodie. Many plays done in the name of
It's
Barefoot
Sunday-
in the
it's-
Park.
it's-
Mine would be Butch and Sundance, but
You know what?
I mean, I feel like
Confession.
that's everybody's favorite.
yeah,
though.
it's just he's just so incredibly winning.
Oh.
In that. What'd you say?
I haven't seen it.
You've never seen Butch and
No, that's a hole in my
In your
movie
brain.
watching.
Unbelievable.
I know.
You don't have an old man in your life that loves you. That's all that means.
Wow, how the accuracy! The accuracy!
All that means is
my
you don't have an
gosh.
old man in your life
my
that loves you.
gosh. That's unbelievable.
Because if you had,
You
your
should pay
grandpa
her
would have shown you.
$200 an hour for
It's
that
okay.
therapy.
It's okay. My dad won't listen to this podcast.
Oh my
Because
god!
if you had, he'd have shown it with. He'd have made you sit down
the
and
amount
watch
of
it.
chuckles that's going to give me for the next 6 months. Oh my god!
Instead, you know what he did? He hung up a period. My dad's a chemist. He hung up a periodic chart above my bed and expected me to memorize it, like when I was 6 years
Oh
old.
my gosh!
When he
I'm
should have been showing me Butch
sorry.
Cassidy and the Sundance Kid.
That's how you know it would.
Well,
it was love.
He did make me watch Star Trek, so the
Yeah,
original.
that's good.
So,
You know,
I
my
got
dad
that.
and I also bonded over Star Trek as a child. So that was my first foray into sci-fi. I didn't understand a lick of it, but it was fun to watch. It was the first time there were people that kind of looked like me.
Yeah.
On camera.
One of the great things about that show was his commitment to diversity in the 60s.
Right. And it
People
was.
don't know if they're listening to this that Geo is actually green.
I am.
Right.
Also got tentacles that come out of my head in all sorts of wiggly shapes and patterns. But I mean, Star Trek was like, my dad's Puerto Rican from New York. My mom's Puerto Rican from the island. There aren't a lot of people on television that looked like us back then, and Star Trek was one of the places that we could just kind of see ourselves represented, in sort of this Afro-Latino kind of like paradigm. Yeah. It's fun.
Yeah. Amazing
All right,
show.
okay, we're starting to run a little bit late, but I don't care because you absolutely cannot go until I get the update on The Lady Kings of Texas, which is a movie. This is your first movie that you will produce.
I'm producing this feature film.
And you start shooting next month in October.
We start shooting. Actually, we had to push it to November.
Oh no!
But
why?
Mostly because we punched up and we punched above our class to do a boxing sort of term here, and got this incredible director she was at Sundance. She just announced yesterday that she's going to South by Southwest in Australia. Did you guys know there was a South by Southwest Sydney? They're starting that this year.
Okay.
And she's a Sundance star. She's a darling, and this will be her first feature film. It'll be our first feature film.
Okay, so tell us the plot. Because it's an interesting concept.
Yeah, so it's basically like if it's traumedy, I guess is the best way to call it. It's basically if Handmaid's Tale made it to a seceded Texas and the government of Texas became NROT. It's a comedy.
Set in the near future.
And so it's the new Republic of Texas. They seceded from the Union and basically declared that all childless women over 35 are redundant. We don't need you anymore and therefore can kill you.
So it's got a little Logan's Run.
A little bit, but it's a dark comedy. It's got a little bit of a horror element to it. Like, I don't know if you guys ever saw Bodies, 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 or some of these more modern, like, weird A24 type movies.
Yeah.
It's kind of in that vein. So it's sort of like a satire. It's a political satire, but at the end of it, like, we're hoping for a really gratifying ending with fire.
That sounds awesome.
And you're taking over a small Texas town?
We are, yeah. So we're taking over potentially.
Oh. Has this changed?
No, it's just we have to get the people in the town on board, and we've gotten the people in the town on board, but the town has mixed politics, so we want to make sure we stay in their good graces. Yeah. So because it's a small Texas town, of course, like everywhere else in the country, it's mixed. It's a mixed bag, but we have been invited to a couple of ranches out there to shoot this thing, and at the end of the day, it's a love letter to Texas, to be honest with you. It sounds like it's not, but it really is. Like, I grew up here. This is my home. I love this state. I want to stay here. I want my friends to stay here, and I want us all to feel welcome. And we want to show off all the beautiful things that the state has to offer, including its diversity, and it's diversity is not a bad word. If there wasn't diversity, we'd be dead. Right? Because it'd be midsummer and we'd be shagging our brothers. Like, let's not do that.
I'm an only child, so I guess that would leave me as an incel.
So your life would not be much different than it is now.
Both just trying to jump on that football, on that fumble to make a joke.
Yeah.
It was.
Yeah.
Oh, wait a minute. Are you a dual citizen?
No, I'm not. No.
Because you were born in Germany.
I was, but I was
you were born
on a base. So I was technically born on American territory overseas.
Why didn't your parents go off the base? Well, because they got free health care. That's why.
But yeah, and also they wanted no excuse for their Latina daughter to ever be denied entry into the country.
But at that point, well, anyway, that's a topic for another time.
Yeah, no, it's a different time. I'm a citizen born abroad. My birth certificate says citizen born abroad. I believe I can run for president on that.
You're not supposed to use broad as a term.
I was gonna use that joke, and I said to myself,
Eric, don't make that joke.
I said that's a dumb joke.
But
That's the most dad joke I've ever heard in my life.
I'm a dad, sir. I don't know what to tell you about that.
The birth certificate literally says on it, citizen born abroad.
Yes.
Am I missing something? Did something go wrong?
He's saying, why would it call you abroad?
Okay. Yeah,
Come on,
sorry.
Gio.
I wasn't.
It's
the
the
wit was
worst
too
joke
quick.
A citizen born a
ever.
dame?
the wit was just too fast for me. I've been here.
See, now that you say,
That's the wit she loves.
No, yeah.
So that's what
She's
gets
gonna
you
have
too fast.
that's what gets you the emails.
She's going to reconsider this as soon as we stop
No,
recording.
this has been fun. But you know what, though? It's my rambling that got me an invitation here. So you know what? It's cool. We're cool.
Gio, this is a lot of fun.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming
It
to
is
do
fun.
this. And thanks for listening to EarBurner. Thanks to Fergal McKinney, who owns the Old Monk and is the finest Irishman to walk the streets of East Dallas. Gio, I got to introduce you to Fergal at some point. You'd love him. Thanks to Shibboleth for our theme music. Rate and review and subscribe to EarBurner. Consider subscribing to D Magazine. Print makes the podcast possible. There's a link in the show description. And tune in next week or whenever we put up another podcast, and we will talk to you then.